Perfecto. Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Buenas tardes. Ya vi que muchos de ustedes ya nos están saludando aquí por el chat. Si me pueden ver y escuchar bien, por favor avísenme en el chat para poder iniciar con la introducción de esta live session que tenemos el día de hoy. Ya vi que Anderson me puso sí, todo bien. Perfecto, muchísimas gracias. Bueno, pues hola a todos. Yo soy Carla Plasencia y en nombre de The Student World les doy la bienvenida a esta live session que tenemos el día de hoy. Aprende inglés en Estados Unidos con Georgetown University ELC. Yo no les voy a quitar mucho tiempo, solamente les voy a explicar cómo funciona la plataforma desde su lado. Entonces, como pueden ver, aquí tenemos el chat. En el chat sí nos pueden contar desde dónde nos acompañan, solamente para conocerlos un poquito mejor y dar una presentación más enfocada a ustedes. Ya vi aquí Carla, mi tocaya, desde Venezuela, perfecto, Colombia, Honduras, aquí El Salvador, Colombia, ahí tenemos muchos, Guatemala, Perú, Venezuela. Súper, pues bienvenidos a todos, Bolivia. Qué bonito tenerlos hoy aquí a todos ustedes. Muchísimas gracias por acompañarnos. Aquí en el chat pueden mandar sus países, nos pueden, aquí voy a estar mandando algunos links si es necesario y cosas así. Y si tienen preguntas durante la presentación, se van a ir a la segunda pestañita de su chat, que es la pestaña de preguntas. Aquí voy a estar monitoreando las preguntas durante la presentación y vamos a estar en el Q&A de al final, ya que terminamos con las slides. Y por último, en encuestas, vamos a tener un par de encuestas durante la presentación. Les van a aparecer en la pantalla. Solamente tienen que picar la respuesta que ustedes quieran. No hay ni respuestas bien ni mal, solamente otra vez es para conocerlos un poquito mejor. Y pues listo, la presentación va a ser en inglés, pero si ustedes no se sienten tan cómodos con el inglés y quieren preguntar en español, pueden preguntar en español y yo seré la traductora en la parte de preguntas y respuestas. Y bueno, pues ya no les quito más tiempo. Milene pregunta si esta reunión va a ser grabada. Sí, la estamos grabando y la vamos a compartir el día de mañana en el canal de YouTube de The Student World. Y bueno, pues sin más por el momento les presento a nuestras expositoras del día de hoy. Ellas son Stephanie y Marisa, que nos acompañan desde Washington, D.C., de Georgetown University. Welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And the stage is all yours. And I think you girls are muted.
Yes,
Yeah.
great. Thank you so much, Carla. Hello, everyone. We're so happy to be here today to share more about our intensive English programs at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. In today's presentation, we will do a little welcome and have some polls. We will tell you about life in Washington, D.C. We will share details about all our intensive English programs, including how to apply and important information about the student visa. My name is Stephanie Gallup. I'm the Associate Director for the Intensive English Program, and I work with students and faculty during your time in the program, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you in Washington, D.C. very soon.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marissa Diaz. I'm the Student Services Manager at the English Language Center. I help students with any questions that they might have about onboarding and preparing to be a student and live in Washington, D.C. And while you're here as a student, I get to plan fun cultural events for you to participate in.
So let me share a few details about Georgetown University. So the Georgetown University English Language Center promotes academic excellence in teaching and learning that is guided by our Jesuit commitment to diversity, respect, and care for the individual. So we already saw today that there are students here from many different countries. So thank you so much, Carla, for encouraging everyone. We're so happy to see so many students and so many countries represented today. So I'd like now to ask everyone to answer our first poll question. Our first question is, have you visited or studied in the United States? Have you visited and studied or visited or studied in the US? Please let us know. Okay, all right, so far, about 80% of you have never visited or studied. So we really hope to change that and welcome you to Washington, D.C. very soon. Okay. So my second question, how many years have you been using English? So even in your country, how many years have you been using English? 0 to 5, 6 to 10, or over 10 years? Okay, it looks like we have a good balance, a lot of different experiences here today. So if you haven't used English long or you've been using English for many years, we have many different programs to help meet the needs that you have when you come to Georgetown. Okay, so now I'll turn it back over to Marissa and she'll tell us all about student life in Washington, D.C.
Okay, thanks, Stephanie. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what it looks like to explore life in Washington, D.C. Maybe some of you recognize the house in this photo, the White House. So there are lots of opportunities to get to visit many famous places here in D.C. We are just steps away from many of DC's historic landmarks, museums, and major government institutions. Being the nation's capital, we have a lot of history and political buildings and monuments and museums to learn a lot about history and DC and America. On the left here, you might recognize the Capitol building. We just did a tour of the Capitol building, and here's a photo of some of our students here. It's a really beautiful place, and we get to see many buildings like this. We also do fun activities outdoors when it's warm. And sometimes when it's cold too, but here you can see some students kayaking on the Potomac River. In Washington, D.C., there are lots of different types of restaurants, cafes. There are also lots of opportunities to experience culture, very diverse types of art and music and food. So we have plenty of opportunities if there's a food that you really like or a food that you've never tried from a different culture. We have all different types of experiences for you here. You can cheer on Washington, D.C.'s professional sports teams. So as Georgetown University, we get to see Georgetown University sports, but there are also many professional sports in our city. The Washington Wizards, the Washington Capitals, and a lot more. Just steps away even from our building. So lots of opportunities to do that. Washington, D.C., like I said, the nation's capital, is one of the foremost diplomatic and policy capitals of the world. So that means that a lot of government policies and processes are done here in our city. So there are lots of opportunities both at Georgetown and just in general in DC to experience all different types of political and diplomatic experiences. Particularly at Georgetown, our school is a great place. We have a lot of famous alumni like President Bill Clinton in this photo. But we have a lot of different opportunities for you as students to get to participate in these events. DC is also ranked #1 in the US for city parks, as you can see here, Rock Creek Park during our beautiful autumn months. There's lots of opportunity to get outside, bike and hike and walk. Our city is very walkable, and public transportation is very accessible. So you are in a city, but you have access to beautiful nature as well. So a very common question we get is, how do students find off-campus housing while at ELC? Where do I stay? Where do I live while I'm a student here? There is some on-campus housing available. However, you are required to stay for the whole year. If you start in the beginning of the traditional school year at fall, or you start sometime later, you are required to stay until May. So there are some limitations on this housing, but it is possible. But most students find off-campus housing in an apartment, maybe find roommates or other ELC students. And we do have a comprehensive housing guide on our website, which I can link in the chat as well. So you can learn about the different neighborhoods of DC, Arlington, or DC, Virginia, and Maryland. Okay, if you have any questions about student life, feel free to type your questions in the chat box or in the questions box, and you can learn more about resources on how to contact us at the end of this presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, Marissa. Okay, I'm going to share more information now on the different programs that we have to offer at the Georgetown English Language Center. Before that, I'd like to know about you. What are your goals for studying English? This is our last poll question. Do you want to pursue a university degree? Do you want to improve for professional or job-related reasons? Or do you want to improve for personal reasons? Okay. So a lot of you are here for professional reasons, but about a third of you are here also to pursue a university degree. Some students have more than one of these goals, and that's okay. We have programs for all of you, for all the reasons that you are looking to improve your English. So let's learn about these different programs. So at Georgetown ELC, we have 8-week program options and 3-week program options. Our 8-week program options begin 5 times in the year: January, March, May, August, and October. And we have a program for intensive language and culture, intensive academic, and intensive professional in these 8-week sessions. We also have a 3-week program that begins in January and that also begins in July. This is our American Conversational English program. So let's learn some more details about these different programs. In all of our classes at Georgetown, you will find small interactive class sizes with around 10 to 12 students per class. We do engaging topics in all courses for a variety of fields because our students come from a variety of backgrounds. Our classes teach with integrated language skills. This means you'll study reading and writing together, listening and speaking together, and in all classes, the grammar and vocabulary that you need to be successful. In order to improve your communication quickly, You will have frequent pair and group discussion in all classes. And finally, we use Canvas, Google, and other educational technology tools that are common in universities across the United States. Our professors are educators with over 20 years combined years of teaching and cross-cultural experience. These professors will give you regular writing and speaking feedback on all your assignments. And you are able to meet with professors individually for one-on-one feedback and advising in their office hours. If you'd like to learn more about our faculty, please visit our blog at elc.georgetown.domains. Here is a sample schedule whether you come to our 3-week or our 8-week programs. In the morning, you will have classes for about 2.5 hours from 9 to 11:20. This is often a reading and writing class, followed by a break from 11:20 to 1. During this break time, students might study, but they might also meet professors in office hours, attend special workshops, and of course, have lunch. Then in the afternoon, we come back to class from 1 to 3:20. This is usually a listening and speaking class. And after classes, there is independent study, homework, and also social activities that Marissa works hard to put together for you. So this is a sample schedule for full-time study. That's 20 hours a week in class, plus additional assignments outside of class for that intensive schedule. So moving back to the different programs that we have. In our 8-week intensive sessions, you can study for one 8-week, or you can study for more than one 8-week session, depending on your level. In our language and culture program, if you have personal goals or job-related goals, we have 3 levels at this program. In our academic program, if you're preparing for university study, we have 4 levels. And finally, in our professional program, this is a higher advanced program that has 2 levels. So depending on when you would like to study and how long you need to meet your goals, we have many different programs and levels for you. If you decide to join our intensive language and culture program, this is a program where you will improve your English language skills while also getting a deeper understanding of U.S. culture and how to communicate in a variety of cultural settings, both personally and professionally. You will build your confidence and vocabulary for speaking and short writing. You'll learn strategies for discussion and email or virtual communication. And you will strengthen the foundational English language skills for academic and professional settings. This is a 3-level program starting at CFER A2. This is a high beginning level. And all students take an ELC placement test in order to be admitted to this program. There's no TOEFL or IELTS needed. If you are looking for university study, this is our intensive academic English program that will help you develop the academic skills you need to transition into academic life at a U.S. college or university. In this program, you learn how to write academic summaries, essays, and research papers, to give an academic presentation, to take notes with academic reading and lectures, to participate in class discussions, and to critically analyze, evaluate, and synthesize academic sources. Students in the academic program also choose elective courses to help sharpen skills in grammar, communication, leadership, and other special topics. This is a 4-level program that starts at CFER B1 in an intermediate level and higher. So students must take the ELC placement test to enroll in this program. But if you're not quite at CFER B1, you're a little bit lower than that, don't worry. You can take our language and culture program first. Finally, we have a higher level intensive professional English program where you can refine your English skills while understanding more about U.S. professional practices in business and public policy, as well as critical leadership and networking skills you need for success. In this program, you'll build confidence in professional writing and communication skills. You'll analyze case studies and organizational structures. You'll practice your professional skills for interviewing, negotiation, debate, and networking. And these topics focus on leadership, public policy, business, and NGOs. This program is offered in 2 modules in the fall and spring. In order to be admitted to this program, you must also have a bachelor's degree or work experience, in addition to a CFER B2, high intermediate level or higher. So those were our 8-week programs, but we have one 3-week program if you need something that is a little bit shorter. Coming in this January 2024, we will run our American Conversational English program. This is a program that is available for all levels and all goals. And in this program, you will have in-person lessons combined with practical field trips to major DC landmarks and venues to practice your speaking in real settings. You will practice conversational American English with vocabulary, grammar, and discussion strategies. You'll have field trips and activities in the DC area. And there are no writing homework or assignments. This is because this is a conversational English program. All right. So if you have any questions about our 8-week classes or our 3-week classes or the schedule, please put your question in the question box and I'll try to answer that. And we'll move on to answer some very important questions now about our admissions process.
Okay. All right. So here are the steps that you must take in order to apply. You can visit our website to complete the online application for either of the programs that Stephanie just talked about, our intensive academic program or our American Conversational English program. Then you will take an online placement test. So I saw someone in the questions ask how they will determine what level they're in. So once you apply, you will get an email with information on taking a placement test. Then if you need to, you can apply to receive F1 visa support if you are in need of help for this. So completing the online application, you will create an account on the application portal website. Please keep in mind, as you can see with some requirements here on the left-hand side, you must have a high school education or equivalent for the American Conversational English program, intensive language and culture, and intensive academic. In order to apply for intensive professional English, you must have a bachelor's degree or work experience. Once you create your account on the application portal, fill in your information in order to apply. It's best if you have all of this information ready and ensure that it is accurate. Next, you can attach the proof of your education or work that I was talking about before, which are requirements for an application. You can keep in mind as well for the proof of the admission, this does need to be translated into English, but you can translate this yourself and send it in as proof for admission. Next, you will pay a $75 application fee and you can submit your application. So once you have completed all 4 steps, we will review your application and information, and you will hear a response. Once you have heard back from us, you will receive an email about taking the placement test. So here you can see our CFER framework, like Stephanie was talking about. You can see the different requirements for language and culture, academic, and professional. So a little bit about the placement test. It is required in order to get into the program once you have already submitted your application. There is a listening, reading, vocabulary, and grammar section on the test, as well as a timed writing sample and an oral interview that you will complete with Stephanie online via Zoom. The TOEFL and IELTS test is not required to apply for admission, but instead we use this placement test to figure out where you are in your English skills and what class, what level would be best for you. So TOEFL and IELTS are not required. Instead, you must take a placement test before you get your letter of acceptance. Okay, an important thing to note about application process is the dates and the deadlines. So there are windows for each of our sessions that you must apply between. You can see here our next window of applications. We are accepting for Spring 1 of 2024 from January 8th to March 1st. Please note that the deadline for F1 visa applicants is November 5th, while our non-F1 visa students are December 1st. So you can see this follows for Spring 2, 2024 and Summer 2024. You can see our different dates of those sessions as well. And please note the deadlines and that they are different for F1 students and non-F1 students. This gives us time to process your application as well as help you with a visa and immigration process, which can be lengthy, and it's better to apply earlier, particularly for F1 students. Tuition and fees for one 8-week session, your tuition is $4,904. The next two are approximate, so they're estimated. The first is living expenses and just personal expenses accrued in your time here as a student. We estimate that to be about $5,500. And then we have your insurance, books, and fees, which are approximately $300. So in order to apply, you must show total support at $10,704 needed in order to be issued your I-20. So that is about how much it would take for an F1 student visa scholarship as well. These tuition and fees are subject to change, but these are approximated, and the $4,904 is our tuition cost for Spring 1, 2024. Okay, like Stephanie talked about, we also have our American Conversational English program. It runs the same time. It starts at the same time as Spring 1, 2024 for our intensive course, but it's only 3 weeks long, spanning from January 8th to January 26th. And the application deadlines are the same, November 5th for F1 visa students and December 1st for non-F1. Our tuition breakdown is below for this 3-week session. It's about, in total, we're at about $4,689. Just the tuition cost is $1,989. Personal living expenses, about $2,500. Insurance, books, and fees are about $200. So keep in mind that final total there at the bottom is about how much you need to show for F1 visa support in order to get your I-20. Okay, we know that the application process can be confusing. You might have questions. Feel free to put your questions in the box or contact us after this presentation.
Thank you, Marissa. Okay, I have a few more details about the admissions process after you've completed your program application. Then you may need to apply for your visa. So the process for getting an F1 visa supported at Georgetown University, the first thing that you have to do is complete your ELC application and take our placement test. So you must apply for the program first, and then we can give you all the help you need to get your visa. After you complete the ELC application, then you will upload all the required documents to get the Form I-20. You will receive your electronic Form I-20 and then take this form with you to apply and interview for your F1 visa at a U.S. embassy or consulate near you. Once you have done all of this and you have your visa, then you will be able to enter the United States with your Form I-20 and your F1 visa. We know that the time to get an F1 visa can take a while. Embassy wait times vary depending on your country, so we recommend that you apply as early as possible since your I-20 may take time to process and getting a visa appointment may take some time. To help you with planning, we recommend that you check out the estimated visa wait times for the embassy or consulate near you. Again, apply as soon as possible so that you will be able to arrive when you plan to in the United States. Okay. So I also have a little bit of information about some special university admissions opportunities. So we often get questions from students who want to study a degree. If studying with the ELC will help you apply or be admitted to another university degree program. So let me share the opportunities that you have in DC. So we have two current local agreements with both Georgetown University and Marymount University in Virginia, which is very close to us in DC. If you complete the highest level of the English Language Center's intensive academic track, and then you complete an application to an eligible degree program at Georgetown or at Marymount, and these eligible programs at Georgetown are the Master of Professional Studies programs. There are many degrees in business and management, marketing and communications, real estate, urban planning, technology and security. Or at Marymount, any of their undergraduate or graduate degree programs. You can contact the admissions advisor of these degree programs to let them know that you are in the ELC and that you will complete the program. And once you complete the program, then your TOEFL or IELTS requirement will be waived in any of these degree program applications. So while you must apply to these separate degree programs and meet all requirements for the program, the language requirement will be met if you complete the English Language Center's program. Okay. So I think this is all the information that we have to share with you today, but we are really happy to answer your questions. And if you think of questions later or you want to contact us about anything specific or to learn more, please reach out to us by WhatsApp, by email, check out our website, and also please follow us on Instagram at georgetown.elc to see more about life here in Washington and at the ELC.
Awesome. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for sharing all this information. We have lots of questions, so I will try to globe like mm, more than one question in one because we have a lot. So, the first question that I see here is if you recommend an agency that will help them with the visa process, or if you recommend that they do it by themselves.
So Georgetown unfortunately does not work with any agencies for this process. However, we do help students with every step of this process, and we can provide resources online to make sure that you get every single step of the way.
Perfect. I'm going to translate that. Chicos, solamente para que sea de su conocimiento, Georgetown no trabaja con ninguna agencia que los ayude con el proceso de la visa. Sin embargo, ellos los van orientando y les comparten recursos, o sea, como links y todo, para que vayan viendo como paso por paso qué es lo que tienen que hacer y pues que no se salten como ningún proceso. The other question that I see here is, do you have any age limit to study?
There's the requirements. You must be 18 years old when you start the program or in the first session. So if you are 17, but you turn 18 before the end of the session, then you can enroll in that session. Unfortunately, we don't have any programs for students who are under 18.
Okay, perfect. Sobre las edades límite, no tienen como edad límite como para los grandes, pero su edad mínima es de 18 años. Si tienen 17, pueden cumplir 18 antes del término de su primera sesión. Si no, tienen que esperar a cumplir los 18 años. Another question that I see here is if you do, I know you already talked about this, but just in case someone missed it, if you have an exam to know what level should the students start on.
Yes, all students will take the online placement test after completing the program application. This is part of the application, and we send you all the information. You do it all online, all from the comfort of your own home. It's a very easy process that all students will do.
Perfect. El proceso para su examen como de colocación, digámoslo así, es que, pues nada, ellos les hacen un examen que es de ellos, no tienen como que llevar alguna prueba de idiomas ni mucho menos, ellos les hacen el examen y sobre ese examen pues ya se ve como que el nivel que tenga cada quien. Aquí ya vi, Tania, pueden enviarnos la grabación de la reunión. La grabación la vamos a subir el día de mañana al canal de The Student World, entonces la pueden revisar por ahí. The other question that I see here is about the visa. So everyone should get a student visa, or not?
We provide visa support for students who need a visa to come into the United States. So we provide the F1 visa support. Some people may have a different visa status, but please keep in mind that we will not be able to enroll someone in our full-time program on a tourist visa. However, there are many different visa statuses, and we can't advise on any visa status that is not F1, which is the student visa status.
Perfect, thank you. La visa que se necesita para estudiar a tiempo completo es la visa F1. No, ustedes no pueden estudiar teniendo una visa de estudiantes. Entonces ellos les proporcionan como asesoría sobre la visa F1, pero obviamente pues depende, hay muchos tipos de visa y ya serían como cosas muy particulares si ustedes tienen algún otro tipo, entonces si tienen algún otro tipo de visa, chequen muy bien qué les permite hacer esa visa, pero la visa de estudiante es la visa F1. I see another question here. Can the students work while studying?
So students who are on an F1 visa may study part-time, or excuse me, may work part-time up to 20 hours a week and only on campus at Georgetown. So there are opportunities, but it is limited and can only be part-time on campus.
Perfect. Sí pueden trabajar mientras estudian medio tiempo, es decir, 20 horas a la semana. O sea, si estudian tiempo completo, pueden trabajar medio tiempo, pero estas 20 horas a la semana tienen que ser dentro del campus, es decir, dentro de Georgetown University. Y bueno, las oportunidades son limitadas, pero sin embargo, sí existe esta oportunidad. Um, Another question I see here is, I know that you don't offer like courses like specifically for TOEFL or IELTS, but do you recommend any of your programs if a student wants to take any of those tests?
Yes, we absolutely recommend our intensive academic English program. The students in this program are mostly preparing for university admissions. So many of the skills that you are learning in our classes will help you to prepare for tests like the IELTS or the TOEFL.
Perfect, thank you very much. Si ustedes quieren hacer el examen TOEFL o el IELTS, les recomiendan tomar el curso intensivo académico, ya que este curso es para las personas que quieren iniciar algún programa ya a nivel superior en Estados Unidos. Entonces, con estos cursos, pues es muy como de la mano con la preparación del TOEFL y el IELTS. Here someone is asking about how many hours per week can you is the program? I see that you
Yes.
reply at the same time. Yeah.
Students study 20 hours a week. This is for the full-time course load. And in addition to this 20 hours a week, students have homework every night, and we have social activities as well outside of those 20 hours.
Perfect, thank you very much. Los estudiantes estudian 20 horas a la semana, pero aunadas a estas 20 horas tienen que tener en cuenta que, bueno, van a tener tarea, obviamente, y también tienen muchas actividades sociales, que son las que nos platicaba Marisa al inicio de esta sesión. Entonces tienen muchos, pues, recorridos, paseos y cositas así, que, bueno, obviamente les van a sumar un poco de tiempo a estas 20 horas semanales. Here someone is asking about the dates, like for fall and spring, and also how much in advance do you recommend to start the application?
So that's a very good question. We will say again, we recommend that you apply as soon as possible. So our January program, the deadline to apply for this program is November 5th. If you need F1 visa support, which most students do. So November 5th, because there are holidays at the end of the year, it's a little bit further out, but our deadlines are no fewer than 6 weeks ahead of the start date, but we recommend applying at least 8 weeks ahead of your start date to be sure that you can get your documents and your visa in time.
Awesome, thank you very, very much. Sobre como las fechas límites para aplicar, les recomiendan hacerlo pues lo antes posible. Recuerden, chicos, que si van a ir a estudiar a otro país, pues obviamente son más procesos que si estudiaran en su país, ¿verdad? Porque tenemos que mandar documentos y tenemos que hacer trámites de visa y ver dónde se van a estar quedando, etcétera, etcétera. Entonces, por ejemplo, la fecha límite para el semestre que inicia en enero es el 5 de noviembre. para que les dé tiempo como de sacar su visa y todo eso, porque recuerden pues que vienen pues las festividades, ¿no? Que es en Estados Unidos viene Thanksgiving y luego viene Navidad, Reyes Magos y todo lo que se les ocurra. Entonces, les recomiendan no aplicar con menos de 6 semanas de anticipación, pero lo más recomendable es que inicien su trámite al menos 8 semanas, con 8 semanas de tiempo, para que cualquier cosa, pues ahí puedan como mandar bien los documentos, hacer sus trámites y que no estén corriendo para todos lados y que al final no les dé tiempo, ¿verdad? Entonces siempre planeen las cosas como con un poquito de anticipación, sobre todo cuando estamos hablando de irnos a otro país. Now, here someone is asking if you accept students from everywhere in the world, or do you have any blockings?
Everyone is welcome. Please apply. We are happy to welcome you to DC.
Awesome. Cualquier país es bienvenido, entonces de donde sea que sean y donde sea que vivan, si ustedes quieren aplicar e ir a Washington, D.C. a estudiar, no hay ningún bloqueo, entonces estos son más que bienvenidos. Eh, Estoy yendo por las preguntas. Aquí, estas ya las contestamos. Okay, I have here another question. Do you know how much, like, I know this varies like a lot, but do you have like a range of how much is the housing?
We don't have an exact range. It really depends upon different types of accommodations. So it's cheaper if you live with other people generally, but you are welcome to click on our housing guide, which Stephanie has linked in the question boxes and in the chat as well, for approximate numbers. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you very much. ¿No tienen como una idea de cuánto costaría como la renta, pongámoslo así? Porque obviamente varía muchísimo, ¿no? Varía si quieres algo para ti solo, varía si quieres tener roomies, varía si te vas a quedar con tu tía, si está justo en el centro de la ciudad, si está más afuera. Pues como en cualquier ciudad, los precios varían muchísimo, depende de lo que tú estés buscando, pero en el chat les compartimos al inicio de esta sesión un link con toda la información del housing. Entonces ahí ustedes pueden darle clic y checar todas las opciones como que están ahí y listo. Pero pues hay muchísimas opciones y Washington, D.C. es una ciudad muy bonita, entonces nada, pues chequen ese link. I think I've gone through all the questions that I see here. Stephanie, do you see anything, or you, Marisa, anything different, or something that I have skipped?
I know some people have some very specific questions about what they need to do or what they need to apply. And all of this information is on our website. But if you send us an email at guelc@georgetown.edu, we can send you a lot of information and answer your very specific questions by email.
Awesome, thank you, Stephanie. Chicos, si tienen algunas preguntas como muy específicas o de casos como muy particulares, bueno, pues no las podemos resolver ahorita porque nos llevaríamos como otra hora más o menos y pues está un poco cañón. Pero si tienen dudas muy específicas o casos específicos, aquí en la pantalla, todavía en la esquina superior izquierda, está la información de contacto de Georgetown University ELC. Entonces le pueden tomar un screenshot o le pueden tomar foto con su celular y les pueden mandar un correo. Ahí está el correo escrito. Es guelc@georgetown.edu. Así. y ellos pues los van a asesorar con muchísimo gusto y les van a resolver todas las dudas que les pudieron haber quedado. And the last question I see here, before I forget, is how do they start the application?
So if you can visit our website, elc.georgetown.edu, you can select the program that you are interested in. We talked about the intensive academic, professional, and American conversational English. Once you select the program under all programs at the top of the page, there is an apply now button. It's a green button on the right-hand side of the screen. You can start the application, completely finish it, and submit it online on the website.
Awesome, thank you so much, Marisa. Chicos, para iniciar su aplicación, solamente tienen que darle clic aquí al link que nos compartió Stephanie en el chat. Ahí seleccionan el programa que les interesa y en la parte de arriba van a ver un botón verde que dice aplicar ahora, apply now, y ahí le dan clic y llenan toda su información y mandan su aplicación. Todo puede ser online, entonces está súper fácil, no necesitan ir a ningún lado, entonces pues nada. Ladies, any last message that you would like to share with the students?
Thank you so much for your time and for joining us today. We're so excited to meet all of you. And thank you also to Carla for answering all of these great questions and helping us connect with all the students here today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for sharing this amazing information and opportunities for studying English in the U.S. And I would just say to the students that no es lo mismo intentar aprender inglés en tu país, donde no estás obligado a practicar, que ir al país donde se habla ese idioma y donde tienes que practicar sí o sí, porque pues si no, no te vas a comunicar con nadie. Entonces, es algo, es mucho más efectivo. Y Washington, D.C. es una ciudad impresionante, de verdad es preciosa. Quien haya tenido oportunidad de ir no me dejará mentir. Y si no han tenido la oportunidad, bueno, pues esta es su oportunidad perfecta para aprovecharla al máximo. De verdad, aprovechen esta oportunidad. Georgetown University es una escuela, aparte de que está impresionantemente hermosa, es una de las mejores escuelas en Estados Unidos y pues nada, de verdad es una oportunidad increíble. Revisen bien los programas, chequen su página web, su Instagram, investiguen más y si tienen alguna pregunta, bueno, pues aquí van a estar los datos de contacto y si quieren revisar esta live session de nuevo, la quieren compartir con alguien que ustedes creen que le podría interesar, la vamos a subir el día de mañana al canal de YouTube de The Student World. Entonces ahí la van a poder ver las veces que ustedes quieran. Muchísimas gracias por compartir un ratito de sus tardes con nosotras, por escucharnos y por quedarse aquí hasta el final. Espero que tengan una excelente tarde, noche, lo que sea, depende de dónde estén. Muchísimas gracias a todos. And thank you very, very much, ladies. And I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.